Oh, hello. Welcome to the party. Don't forget to hydrate yourselves, guys. It's hot outside. If it's not hot outside where you live, drink some damn water anyway. Guys, it could be a crazy weekend. Expect more volatility and uncertainty. It's classic. Always crypto 365, 24/7. At least the stock market's closed and stock investors get to go home, relax for the weekend. Not us crypto investors. All bullshit all the time. So we got to talk about what's going on in the geopolitical scene. We have to talk about what's going on in the Bitcoin scene, the altcoin scene, particularly some Solana updates, Jupiter, stuff like that. It's going to be a good time. Let's get it. So, by the way, answering your question second half of the stream, so make sure you stick around. Morgan, Ultimate Team Dave, Chris, Georgia, Jason, Silas, Marcus, everybody else will be answering your questions second half stream. So stick around for those good times. Let's get it. So, on the face of it, looks like there could be some good things potentially going on. Maybe. But we've got a little problem with that whole situation. We're going to talk about what's being presented in the media right now. Georgia, what do you regret not buying yesterday, and why is it Peanut? Is Peanut up a lot today? Congratulations if you hold it. Dead Squirrel Coin's making a comeback, guys. Breaking, Iran foreign minister says to attend nuclear talks in Geneva with France, Germany, UK, EU. Great. To what extent the European politicians have a sway over what the Israelis or the Americans are going to do, who the hell knows, but maybe it's a way to have some conversations with some high-level people that might lead to something positive. 3 more aircraft left Iran for Muscat, Oman. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man. That's a great name for a country. Love it. Interesting. Now, is this just political leadership getting the families out of the country, or is this actually something going on a negotiation level, secret backroom meetings? Who the hell knows? We can, of course, hope for those kind of narratives coming into play here. Iran foreign minister says it rejects any negotiation while Israeli attacks continue. Wow, so Israeli attacks are probably going to stop so they can negotiate? No. Israel's defense minister says he's instructed the military to intensify strikes on Iranian government targets in an attempt to stabilize the regime. Of course. Classic. Israel expects the U.S. decision on joining Iran more than 24 to 48 hours. Trump says, nope, maybe within the next 2 weeks. Okay. I see you, Don. Keep them guessing. Art of the deal, baby. Patricio. Oman is on my list of places to go. It is indeed very beautiful. I've seen the pictures and, thinking maybe for my wife's birthday this year, we'll go rent a villa on the beach somewhere, enjoy ourselves for a week. Be nice. 28 in Singapore, cooler. Oh, yeah, Dubai is probably 40 right now. I haven't checked the temperature. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's probably 40. It's always 40 this time of year. Now, this was shared by Mel. And this is some excerpts from Seymour Hersh. Seymour Hersh reporting that the American bombing campaign is going to start this weekend. She said, since Mark Levin has been cool as a cucumber all afternoon despite Trump's 2-week delay, it's probably right. Now, this is what Seymour Hersh, famous American journalist, very well-respected journalist for high-level connections, this is what he wrote. He said, this is a report on what's most likely to happen in Iran as early as this week, and according to Israeli insiders and American officials that I've relied on for decades. Okay, so these are some of his longtime sources giving him the information that shit's about to go down. Of course, nobody wants to listen, obviously. But if so, this would be a major escalation and would be a very volatile weekend in the markets. He says it will entail heavy American bombing. Told me that all will be under control if Iran's supreme leader departs. Just how that happened, short assassination is not known. This is worrying. I've been told that the White House has signed off on an all-out bombing campaign in Iran, but the ultimate targets, the centrifuges buried at least 80 meters below the surface of Fordow, will, as of writing, not be struck until the weekend. The delay has come at President Trump's insistence because the president wants the shock of the bombing to be diminished as much as possible by the opening of Wall Street trading on Monday. Interesting. Now, obviously, we're going to find out over the next 48 to 72 hours if Seymour Hersh is right. If that is the case, then after U.S. markets close tonight, in that situation, it would seem that maybe tonight shit goes down. And that's very problematic, right? So I've seen the satellite images been shared around. U.S. naval stuff has basically left all the ports here in the Middle East and gone out into the Arab Gulf. So they're just off the coast of Oman. We got the long-range bombers sitting in Diego Garcia. So the strike capability is definitively there for U.S. to bring massive firepower on Iran in a very short amount of time. So if they do that on Friday, blow the shit out of a whole bunch of stuff, see what the consequences are on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, stock market's open. Yeah, maybe it's absorbed it all by then and it's not such a big deal. So all this, foreign ministers meeting in Geneva, maybe backroom conversations going on in Oman. Nobody gives a shit. Donald's already decided what to do, and he's going to do some bombing this weekend, which is why I put the title of this video, Crypto Holders Prepare for a Dangerous Weekend. Now, obviously, this is just one report. They could be feeding Seymour bullshit. I remember watching a video some years back about how the intelligence agency would give stuff to journalists. And most of the time, they'd give them true stuff. Every once in a while, they'd give them bullshit. So we'll see. Seymour Hersh, again, very respected American journalist, but who knows? Maybe this is all just more blustering and bullshit. Hard to say. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, that's not fantastic, is it? Definitely not fantastic if that's what plays out. Apparently, they're going to be blowing up targets. I mean, very detailed report, by the way. The Israeli leadership under Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu hopes the bombings will provide the means of creating an uprising against Iran's current regime, which has shown little tolerance for those who defy the religious leadership and its edicts. Yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense. The foreign country comes in and start bombing you, so you turn on your own government versus saying, hey, F the guys who are bombing our country. Usually works out like that, doesn't it? Anyway, Iranian police station will be struck. Government offices that house files on suspected dissenters in Iran will also be attacked, according to what Seymour Hersh is saying. But there's been talk among White House planning group that includes Vice President G.D. Vance of installing a moderate religious leader to run the country if Khamenei is deposed. The Israelis bitterly objected to the idea. They don't give a shit on the religious issue, but demand a political puppet to control. Now, look, I don't know how all that plays out. I don't know how much that's going to be true. We're going to find out, like I said, over the next 48 to 72 hours. Right now, markets are doing okay. Prices of crypto is doing okay. We're going to talk about charts in a minute. But I saw this report earlier. I was like, we need to talk about that. Because on the one hand, you see, okay, maybe there's going to be some kind of peace. Maybe some. We'll see. We got a lot of bullshit to sort through here. Emperor BTC, focus all your attention on generating more capital to buy the dips that occur now. All macro fear is bogus. All news of World War III is a sham. We've seen the worst and recovered. The future is bright for those who endure the darkness. Dig the sentiment, bro. Could be easy to let her brace for heightened market volatility today, as if that all wasn't enough. $6.8 trillion worth of options on stock indexes, ETFs, equity index futures, and individual stocks are set to expire during today's trading session. I didn't know that Iran and Israel were part of the USA. Israel, man, 51st state. The tail that wags the dog. Anyway, extra volatility incoming. Let's just put it that way. Stocks barely budging on all this news, by the way. So let's see. So far, again, I would like to point out that despite everything we see in the news, everything we see happening on the ground, the stock markets are calling bullshit and saying, you know what? No World War III coming. Maybe there's going to be some bombs dropped. Not a big deal. So far, that's what the stock market's telling us. Oil is saying, there's maybe a little bit of worry there, a little bit of concern, but we're not very worried. Oil's up 1% today. So it's not a huge leap. It's not up 10% today or something like that, is it? Up 1%, oil up 1%, stocks down 0.2%. Is the market just saying, we're monitoring the situation? The situation is being monitored. We will continue to monitor the situation. Heightened risks abound, but nothing's happened yet. Let's lighten up the mood here and give away some money. What do you guys think? Okay, so thanks to the guys who are Bit Unix. We're giving away a grand fat stack, $1,000, 2 winners, $500 a piece. You could be one of those lucky people today if you signed up to my Bit Unix link at some point during this week. So, Bit Unix, no KYC, no VPN. Okay, great exchange. I'm gonna do most of my futures trading over here. Bit on Femex, mostly on Bit Unix these days. I think I used about 4 exchanges in total, but Bit Unix is one of the I'm doing most of my futures trading at recently. Here's the deal, right? No KYC, no VPN. Means anyone anywhere can use it. Big liquidity in all the big coins, exotic altcoins, meme coins you can long and short, and you have up to $2,000 in trading bonuses exclusively using that link, plus up to $400 in deposit bonuses. Now, deposit bonus is absolutely bonkers, man. You put in $1,000, you get $200 back. You put in $2,000, you get $400 back in your account. Plus, we're giving away $1,000 every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 2 winners, $500. 10 people a week getting $500. We have 246 people on the list today. So let's ask Grok to choose some winners for us. Again, people under deposited $10 or less are excluded because some people have been trying to game the system and put in $10. So I'll make sure we get real users. 103, 225. 225 here. Oh, look at that. I love to see that. That's awesome. Check this dude out. User ID 599-675-184. You deposited $561. You're getting $500 back. That's awesome. So actually, because he put in the $500, he gets the $100 back as the deposit bonus, plus an extra $500. So he's actually made $40 more than he's deposited. Yo, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Again, you have to go and claim that in the My Rewards section, and obviously you have to check your user ID. I'm sure you guys remember that off the top of your head. You have to check your user ID. We're not sharing emails here because, of course, we preserve people's privacy, so you have to check your UID. But if you are a winner, you go to the My Rewards section. The team will put this up later today, or maybe check back tomorrow. Make sure it's there. They'll put this up later for you, and then you can go and claim your rewards. So congratulations, that dude. Look at that. Put in $561, got $500 back, plus a $100 deposit bonus. That's awesome. Okay, so it's 225. The other one was 103. 103. It's a $10 one. Okay, we gotta choose one more. Choose one more. 179. Oh, look at this. Nice. Cool stuff. So this guy put in $2,000. User ID 711-872-154. So he gets the $400 back, right? Plus $500 now in your My Rewards Center. Again, they'll be up in a few hours for you. So that's almost 50% of his money back. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Congratulations to today's winners. More winners announced on Monday. So make sure you check back in for the next one. Okay, so that's all the crazy macro shit today. Let's talk crypto coins, guys, okay? Here's a crazy stat for you. Crazy thing. Only about 13% of traders are profitable. Majority are short right now. What does this mean? Everything to the moon. Although, ironically, if Donald does bomb Iran over the weekend, then everything probably dumps, and the majority of people who are currently short are going to make big money. Nice. Lark, ever since you said something about Give a Week Go, it's rocked and still going. Yeah, I saw it's up. It, of course, went from $10 million down to $1 million, so fuck. But then, of course, it's nice to see it's getting a little bit of a renaissance. I think some of those bonk fun coins have been looking pretty interesting. And there's a couple that are on my list that I might buy. I might get a position again in Gib. There's a coin called Useless, which went to $100 million market cap. So Bonk Fund's a competitor to Pump Fund, obviously by the Bonk guys, right? And so we're seeing a few runners over there. And because we're seeing a few runners, we might see some more runners. Is Gib going to be the one that goes to tens of millions? I don't know. But nice to see some are getting a little bit of attention again. So it's good. Bitcoin right here. Nice little bounce today so far. Let's see. Not crazy. Went from 104 up to 106, about $2,000 increase in price. Will Ethereum hit $3,500? Yes. When? I don't know. It's a fascinating question. Fascinating question. Got an ETH analysis video came out earlier today, and we got a sort of a much deeper dive with more nuanced analysis coming out tonight. The when question, it's hard to say, man. It depends on what's going on in the broader macro scene. In theory, as we go into July, if we see some kind of resolution to this bullshit going on currently, then markets should, in theory, go up. Global M2's pumping, got all kinds of positive tailwinds. Does that mean go to $3,500? I don't know. But overall, when we break out of the range that we're currently in for ETH, it probably goes up to around $3,000 to $3,300. I don't think it's quite at $3,500 on that move, but yeah. Told you guys, Say was going to make a comeback. I guess Say's doing really good. There's some Wyoming news today that's got everybody pretty excited about what's going on with Say. We'll take a look at that chart in a few minutes, guys. Remind me about it. I don't actually have it up here yet, so you got to remind me to look at the Say chart, but we'll look at that in a few minutes. Anyway, Bitcoin still defending the bottom range of this triangle. That's insane. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? TA, man. TA, wild shit. 50-day EMA retests are still fine. If Donald does drop a shit ton of bombs on Iran over the weekend, I'm not sure the 50-day EMA is going to hold. We watch for the 200-day EMA down in the lower 90s in that situation. Let's see how we go. Breakout in either direction from this triangle. Top target breakout, 120, 125. Bottom target, lower 90s. Okay, just FYI. South Korea plans to approve Bitcoin crypto ETFs in second half 2025. Everything's going to go to the effing moon. That's awesome. Korea's in the game with ETFs. Huge demand, huge boomer Korean money is going to come in and buy our crypto bags. Yes. Awesome. Bitcoin stayed above $100,000 for 40 consecutive days. We're entering a new paradigm of money. Shit. I said the thing, guys. I said the thing, pray for our bags. Here's an interesting one. Prophetic BTC. Trend change time. Now go long on Bitcoin at least until the 25th, which is next Wednesday. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting here. Let's see. I mean, this guy's got an interesting little formula he uses here. So let's see if that plays out or not. Again, this could be derailed by geopolitics over the weekend. Markets have been on edge and will continue to be on edge until we start seeing some kind of diplomatic resolution to this current conflict, okay? That being said, this fits my bias, so let's go. Bitcoin to the moon, guys. Bitcoin to the moon. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're not in the Facebook group yet, it's free. There's a link down below in the description here. Check it out. We're posting all kinds of charts and stuff and TA over here all the time. You guys can, of course, come over here and post your thoughts and charts and stuff as well. So got 387 members in there. We're going to get it up to thousands. So you can be early, man. Be early. Get in on it while it's still good. You know, before we get crazy numbers in there. And we're talking to you guys over there. We're hanging out. Have a good time. Come on in. Okay. Skybridge's Anthony Scaramucci says he believes Solana will flip Ethereum by market cap this year. Yeah, that's the kind of hoping my Solana bags want to hear. Not necessarily my ETH bags, but okay, screw it. Let's have a look. Solana, the salami coin, has been defending this key level down here. Not a whole lot to say about it right now. I think until Solana breaks back over the 20-day EMA right around 152 right now, it's going to be struggling a little bit, let's say. It's in a weird spot right now. All these EMAs now above are resistance. I mean, we're not even close to 161 to get back to the 200-day EMA. Damn it, we have Solana ETFs coming. This feels so mispriced. Am I crazy? Am I the crazy one here, guys? Is this not mispriced? Solana at $140. I know the world's about to explode. Fine, okay? But Solana's bullish, all right? Freaking ETFs are coming. They're probably coming next month. The latest, maybe September, October, okay? But that's soon. I mean, like, investing world is pretty soon, right? And I think when we do get those ETFs coming, that probably results in Solana going up 200-300% from current levels, in my opinion, okay? This could be a move that brings us to new highs for Solana. Jupiter Exchange has announced it's going to pause all JupDAO voting until the end of 2025. Citing community fatigue, trust breakdown, and FUD cycles. Now, to be very clear, that means if you are a Jupe holder, you don't have to vote anymore. You're just going to get the staking rewards. So cool. I like that. It means I don't have to think about voting anymore. It's probably a good step to be honest. It got to the point where there's rolling out all these different things, and most people don't give a shit about what they're voting for. They just want to vote because they're going to get the staking rewards. If we're being honest about it, okay? The tragedy of the commons, if you will. Democracy at work. Democracy, man. Anyway, you're still going to get your staking rewards, which is a nice thing to see. Charts whacked, man. Not looking great. 40 cents currently. I still think it's one of the better DeFi plays on Solana, though. Although I've been watching Camino Finance recently. I feel like I need to clean my portfolio up some more, man, and get a little more exposure to DeFi. I feel like I'm underexposed to DeFi right now, and it's been one of the better, because there's a lot of these tokenomics for DeFi coins have been actually good, and there's actual demand for the products versus some of these other things which are just not doing so good. Fetch Foundation will conduct a $50 million buyback of Fetch tokens across several exchanges. Now, it's not a huge amount, as this bot down here says $50 million buyback is 2.8% of its market cap. Symbolic and impact depends on adoption, justifying premium, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Charts, not really moving as a result of that. Again, $50 million in buybacks doesn't do a huge amount, but, it's something. It's something, man. It's something. Why would you buy an ETF? Just buy your coin. Well, look, Southern Stacker, I'm a coin guy, right? I agree, but I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys are okay. Where's my thing? Where's my thing at? You guys don't mind putting your coins in one of these, okay? But you got to think boomer retail money, okay? They're not going to buy Solana ETFs, or they're not going to buy Solana until it's an ETF on their Charles Schwab account. Then they're going to buy. Not until then. They have to be stupid. They don't want to learn about blockchains or any of this shit. They just want to be able to click a button and buy it. So for those people, it will be popular. We have the evidence that it's popular. $47 billion of Bitcoin ETF inflows, $4 billion of ETH ETF inflows, and probably a few $1 billion of, yeah. Maybe I missed something there. But anyway, 401k. Unless it's for a 401k IRA kind of deal. Yes, true. For the 401k IRA, absolutely, sure. But you can also do that with people like ITRUST and stuff as well, and buy the actual coins to get in kind with redemptions and stuff like that. But there's also the other issue, Southern Stacker, and it's just an interesting question. By all means, don't take it the wrong way. Just an interesting question. But also, this is the thing. A lot of these institutional players, they're super conservative. They have super conservative boards. So even if they do start buying crypto, I think the endowments, the pension funds, the institutions, even some of the family offices and stuff, they're not going to want to buy the actual assets and custody them and all that BS, but they will buy a Solana ETF from Fidelity. They'll buy a Solana ETF from Bitwise or VanEck or whoever else. So there's definitely a lot of money that gets unlocked by these ETF products. A lot of new participants will come in who, for one reason or another, they just don't want to do it, man. This is the thing, is Bitcoin's been around for years and years and years and years and years. And there's the legal side, again, where some institutional players just couldn't or didn't want to take the risk legally or whatever to get in. But then there's also just that people are just fucking lazy, man. They're lazy and they don't want to. They don't want to learn how Solana works and download a Phantom wallet and connect the ledger up to it to make sure it's actually secure in the background. And they just want to ape into some shit. And that makes it easy. I feel them. I know. I don't want to have 10 blockchain wallets. Pain in the ass. Good question, though. I think that's actually a really good question. Okay, somebody's asking about Say again. Where is it at? Can you check the weekly Sage? Why not check weekly Sage? Well, look at daily first, though. Where the heck is the thing? Okay, hold on. Let's go Binance. Probably gonna face. Oh, look at that. Back to break even, baby. Let's go. Let's go. This, I think, is around the news on, look at that. Look at how clean that is, man. Look how clean that is. Look at that. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Very clean downtrend, very clean downtrend break with volume. I see you say, what's up, man? Obviously still trading under the 200-day EMA. I'm gonna take the SMA off here. The EMA purple line on the chart right here. So really, until you get over 26 cents, it's still just like, yeah, nice, but it's a nice rally within an overall still bearish setup because we're still trading below the 200-day. Okay, that's one thing to keep in mind here. Obviously, that news about, I was like, Wyoming stablecoin something. I didn't have a chance to read it today, but I saw some notes about it. RSI breaking out big time. MACD bullish crossover confirmed yesterday. The question is now, can we get actual continuation to come through here beyond just a short-term news hype spike? Let's see. Let's see. There's been a lot of fear and uncertainty in the markets, and this current move, exciting, nice to see, could be very quickly undone by geopolitics over the weekend. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. It's nice to be back to break even on my bag here. And I want this thing to go to $2. Can we just get a $2 say? Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask, market? A $2 say, I'll sell it, I'll walk away, I'll be happy camper, okay? Just a 10x, 10x, okay? Come on. Anyway, nice breakout. Nice breakout, good looking breakout there. I just worry because it's a news-driven breakout if it's going to have staying power or not. Okay. Is XRP a good buy here? I mean, is XRP ever really a good buy? I don't know. It's a different question, but let's just diplomatically have a look at the charts here for XRP. Look, XRP. I know you guys know I love to tease the crap out of the bread garlic house coin here. All right, it's not my fault that his name is that. Okay, it's just too memeable. It's too easy. Blame his mom. Anyway. Jokes aside, XRP has literally been one of the strongest coins in the market. You look at a lot of charts and they're just so mega wrecked beyond belief. XRP has actually maintained a decent chart. It's still trading above the 200-day EMA, but it's dangerously close to it. And it's been dangerously close to it multiple times. Okay, we've had 1, 2, 3, maybe just call that 4. We've had 4 retests of the 200-day EMA since the 31st of May. Okay, with no real significant rallies happening in that time period. We got a rally from 208 to 233, which is not bad. There's been some nice trades for XRP, don't get me wrong. And the 200-day EMA has been a nice spot to go long. So if you're a trader and you're trading this right now, going long from 210, 209, targeting the upper bounds of this range that we're kind of in right now, around 230, it's probably a decent trade. Okay. Now, in terms of buying spot bags for long-term hold, the only way, personally, I would see doing a big spot position on XRP is if you're waiting to sell it later this year around a XRP ETF pump. Because after Solana gets an ETF, XRP becomes a very likely next candidate along with Litecoin. Now, gun to my head, if someone's going to say, Lark, here's $100,000, you're going to put it in an XRP, or you're going to put it in a Litecoin based on an ETF trade. I'm choosing Litecoin. I'm choosing Litecoin, man. XRPs were what, 150, 140, 120 billion dollars, whatever the heck it's worth. Litecoin's worth 8 billion maybe today. What's got more upside? What has a higher chance of putting in 1, 2, 300% gains? I know XRP runs and it runs. Don't get me wrong. I've seen this beast just do crazy things over the years. I get it. No shade on the XRP army, man. You guys pump your coin when the pumping time comes. But I feel like LTC would be the higher risk reward bet in that scenario, personally. Okay. Where are we at? Hair looking good. Thanks, Jed. Good morning from Greenville, South Carolina. What is up? What is up? Nice to see you, man. XRP looks like a coiled snake ready to strike. Man, I didn't draw it on here. It's actually on another chart. But if you kind of do this jazz right here, approximately, let's just say, this is not going to be super clean, but we're just going to draw it like this real quick anyway. You can see we've been forming up in a big old fat triangle for a while here. Okay, so when we find the resolution of this triangle pattern that we're currently in, and by the way, we are getting pretty close to a resolution point on this triangle, just FYI. Maybe we move down a little bit here, just like that. Go from more of the candle bodies and the candle wicks. So let's say this is by mid-July, this should have resolved itself up or down. Okay, so let's see how it goes over the next few days. But that's a pretty powerful pattern that's going to break out with a huge upside potential. Buck 20, 320, basically a $2 potential move here. I know we've said this a few times before, but if we break out on the upside here for XRP, the next move is probably up to mid $4 range or something like that. So that's a potential 100% move here for XRP, but you need the right financial conditions for that to happen. That doesn't happen while Donald Trump's talking about bombing the fucking Middle East, okay? We need more positive things going on for that kind of risk on move to happen in the market. But definitely something to keep an eye out for. The flip side is if we break down from here, you probably see some deeper dip coming in here for XRP. But I don't know how much strong the downside is going to be on XRP. In theory, it should be a decent dip if we lose that triangle. But the market makers are pretty strong, demand's been pretty strong, and it keeps getting gobbled up on dips. You see any significant dips have been having serious buy pressure come in underneath them. So just that's something to keep in mind there. Anyway, I guess we're doing Q&A now, guys. We're doing the Q&A session. I have not put my red light hat on, so I better get that done. Don't forget to hydrate yourselves in case you haven't hydrated it recently, guys. Okay, water's great. Beautiful. Beautiful, tasty water. XRP reminds me of Cardano. Well, they're both cults in their own way. And don't be offended when I say that, because it's actually a really good thing. The last thing you want is for no one to give a shit about your coin. And the great part about XRP and Cardano is they have got the die-hard communities, man. And that really is important in this game, because you see how quickly communities get burned and how people don't give a shit about coins. And I was looking at some of my, venture investments in coins today, and it's like, man, the failures of some of these things just epically bad. So much money gone. Oh well, make more later. But damn, man, you need good cults, okay? And these are good cults. These are good cults. Now, XRP versus Cardano. Cardano, smaller market cap by it's about a quarter to a fifth of the market cap of XRP. But I feel like XRP is really doing a lot more stuff. There's a reason why the market gives this cult a 5x value compared to Cardano. It's actually starting to finally, in a big way, I feel like XRP is really starting to deliver on the promise of XRP ledger after all this time, as RLUSD and real world assets and all that stuff starting to happen. So things are starting to take place on XRP. I still don't have a spot bag. The only time I could see getting a spot bag of XRP, and would be potentially around an ETF trade, but I'd probably just choose futures to look at 2x long or something like that. Something relatively low risk that has the ability to move with the waves of the market without getting stopped out too easily. Caspa is a YouTuber hyped coin. Well, you don't get any hype from Caspa around here. We've researched it before, made a thread or two on it, I think, on X, but it never really caught my attention. Never got very excited about it. I know some people are pretty excited about it. And again, no shade. I want you guys to make money. If you got the inside scoop on why Caspa is going to be new paradigm money, then I celebrate you. But it's not hasn't attracted my money. Lark's just mad his country's going to make him pay rent and utilities and XRP. Ha 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 ha. I look forward to the day. Screw it. If that's what's going to happen, I will. If you know what? If my landlord's going to take XRP for rent next year, I'm going to pay it in XRP because that's going to be hilarious. But I don't think she's going to take XRP for rent personally. Lark, why do you? I don't know why. I don't know. Who knows? Bags. Got your bags, man. Everyone's got bagitis. Makes you biased. I don't know. I guess they've researched it and they're excited about it. Again, when I looked at Casp, I was like, that's interesting, but it's not enough to get my money. Okay. Plume needs to wake up. Man, Plume's been slaughtered recently, down 50%. Still holding on to the dream here, man, but it's getting hard. Getting hard. Lark, what's the use case for XRP when we have stable coins? Well, this is something that I criticized sort of the XRP thing for a while. It's going to be this bridge currency, a swap between whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And, well, now the XRP guys figured it out. They've launched RLUSD. So the XRP ledger has its own stable coin now. And the more adopted that stable coin gets, the more XRP gets burnt, because XRP does actually have a burn mechanism, so a perpetual buyback mechanism. There's a lot of XRP in circulation, okay, like a lot. So you're going to need a hell of a lot of business for the RLUSD stablecoin for that to make a real impact. But still, that's the dream, right? That's what people are putting this high valuation on, that the RLUSD stablecoin is going to be a big deal, and that the big banking partners and government partners and all this stuff are going to come together and start using this plumbing provided by the XRP ledger and get all the big burns happening, and it's going to go to the fucking moon. I understand the moon case for XRP. I just still don't like it. Sorry, guys. Bread garlic house coin. Yes. Yes. XRP, world reserve currency. Let's go. Let's go. I think I'll be sad if XRP becomes the world reserve currency and not Bitcoin. Just the state of things, guys. For dry powder, are there any good alternatives to USD stablecoins? I mean, if you want Forex, there's Euro stablecoins that have some pretty decent liquidity. But I think probably the best thing in that example would be treasuries, real world asset treasuries. I'm not sure, I should find out what the best place to buy some of these. It's probably a good thing to put money into versus trying to. DeFi is just so fucking dangerous, guys. I don't like putting very much money into DeFi just because protocols get hacked all the time and stuff like that. So putting it into one of the yield-bearing stable coins that are backed by treasuries may be an option, or gold, right? Then you have to accept the ups and downs of gold, right? Which isn't super volatile as an asset class, obviously. But if you want to have dry powder in gold, I could see that making sense. Tether Gold or Paxos Gold, probably PAXG or is it XAUT? That's Tether Gold and Paxos Gold. Probably good options in that if you're into gold, of course. Good question, though. What makes it a dangerous weekend? Pratik, in case you weren't here, I was talking about the Seymour Hersh report that Israeli and U.S. officials have kind of leaked to this famous American journalist that Trump's probably going to strike Iran over the weekend with a massive bombing campaign. It's probably going to happen tonight or Saturday night so that markets have a chance to absorb it and it doesn't freak the stock markets out on Monday morning. That was the thing. Lark earlier said you're underexposed to DeFi. Are there any coins you're considering buying spot? Yes. I mean, thinking about MakerDAO. I like them. They do cool shit. Camino Finance. I think that's a very interesting one as well. These are protocols that I use myself sometimes. So I like those. I think those are pretty big winners right now. I mean, I could see getting back into Aerodrome Finance. I've been in and out of that multiple times. Made money farming it, and maybe I should farm it again. Just takes so much work farming. It's got to be updating your positions and shit. But okay, if you get a good amount of Arrow flowing in from doing some decent farming, you can make some good money on that. And I think Arrow, because of the recent Coinbase announcement, they're going to start routing a lot of stuff through Base, and of course that means through Aerodrome because that's the premier liquidity spot on Base. So that's, I think, pretty interesting there as well. There's a lot of great DeFi stuff. And I think DeFi, something I should be investing more in. I've been actually thinking just today, I should reduce my exposure to some of the layer ones that I'm currently invested in. Reduce it to like maybe 2, 3 max. So that means cutting 2, maybe 3 of them. I've got 6 currently. So, and to take that money and to put it into DeFi protocols, because DeFi protocols, killer use cases, product market fit, and a lot of them actually have tokenomics that make sense, okay? They've got aggressive buyback programs, or they have rev share or something like that. Some reason to own the coins versus speculation that the price is just going to go up at some point in the future. Not bragging about Pepe Millionaire. Pepe to the moon. I like Pepe. I think it's going to be one that does pretty well in the next run up. Just moisturize, man. Moisturize and hydrate. That's how you do it. Yeah. Hope there's no nukes flying over your head there in Dubai, Lark. That makes 2 of us. Can't everybody just chill out? I mean, it's over there. It's not over here, but uncomfortably close, let's say. Can't wipe out gold with a solar flare. Digital assets will never be a reserve. Way too risky. I think you're going to see, I mean, Bitcoin's already being used as a strategic reserve by countries, right? In terms of running all the money on digital rails, that's going to come. Everything's going to be run on blockchains in 10, 20 years. You can't wipe out gold with a solar flare. It's true, but there's basically an infinite amount of gold in the universe. And now that we've figured out how to transmute lead into gold, they did it at CERN recently. I think gold's status as a store of value asset, not immediately. We're talking maybe 10, 20 years down the line when they figure out how to take that process and do it at industrial scale. It's over for gold after that as a thing that you buy and hold on to. Look what's happened to the diamond market now. The diamond market is being flooded with manufactured diamonds. Reza, you know, the XRP, some of you guys, XRP guys are just so unforgiving. Lark, why do you irrationally hate XRP? You've never given a single reason as to why you hate it. Ripple holdings have been decreasing over time and they don't hold half the supply. Did I say they hold half the supply? I have no idea what you're talking about, Reza. I did not say that. I don't irrationally hate XRP. I don't mind XRP. I don't care. Just because I don't want to invest in your coin, my dude, doesn't mean I hate your coin. There's a lot of, I don't hate Caspa. I don't hate Cardano. I don't fucking care. If you know, this is the thing. I've got a small set of coins that I own. I need it to even be even smaller for my sanity purposes. And that's kind of enough. You don't need to be invested in every coin. And some people get offended that I don't invest in XRP, or they get offended that I don't buy Cardano. It's like, guys, who the fuck cares? If I don't buy a coin, should not influence whether you buy a coin or not. Just the same, if I buy a coin, doesn't influence whether you should buy a coin or not. Okay, you have to make your own decisions. I want you guys to win. I've given my tip of the hat to the guys at Ripple Labs for fighting the SEC. They fought the good fight and they won. Congratulations to them. And XRP is getting increased adoption. We've given it, you know, it's props for doing that. Just because I don't want to buy it doesn't mean I hate it, man. Relax, dude. Relax. Come on now. Come on. Okay. Lark, how do you think altcoins shape up over the summer if there are no rate cuts till fall? I think it really depends on the geopolitical situation. If there's like a big war starts breaking out and shit gets really bad, not good. Global M2 is still pumping. And you know what? Here's the hot take. We don't actually need rate cuts. Why do I say that? Go back to 1994. Interest rates were 4% and rising. For the entire dot-com bubble from 1994 to early 2000, rates were over 4% the entire time. They only started cutting rates when the market crashed and the crisis started coming in post 9/11 and stuff like that, and they cut rates super hard. But the entire dot-com bubble, we were over 4% the entire time. Even got to like 6.5% or something like that at some point. Stocks just ripped nonstop for years. You don't need rate cuts. Rate cuts can help. They can be useful. Then they'll unthaw the housing market, which will be good. And then, of course, when they started cutting rates in early 2000, the housing market did unthaw. So stocks were effed up for a while, but then people started investing in housing. They got all the weekend to negotiate, talking about Iran. If they don't acquiesce, they're going to get shocked early next week. These MFers better make a deal, man. Seriously. Do they not know I've got longs open right now? Come on. Come on, Kamini. Do me a solid here. Make a peace deal so my longs go up. That'll be great. What do you think about the AI narrative? Bullish on AI in a variety of ways. No, that doesn't mean that everything's going to be a winner in AI. Oh, fuck, we're to 45 minutes. We got to stop here pretty soon, guys. Doesn't mean everything's going to be a winner in AI. There's going to be a lot of losers. A lot of AI agents are going to go to zero. A lot of AI launch pads are going to be fucking nothing and do nothing. Okay, but AI more broadly, super bullish. It's going to be massive. It's going to be bigger than most people think. Particularly, I'm interested in like AI stocks and robotic stocks. I feel like in crypto, there's some interesting niche stuff to play with and have a good time with and experiment with. And I like doing that. Like I've got some virtuals and I'm participating in the Genesis launches and stuff over there and bought some agents and a very small amount of money, right? This is interesting for me. I think that's an interesting area in crypto right now. AI agents, that's cool. I like it. It's something new and interesting and not complete bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit in it, but it's not complete bullshit, and I like that. I still like some memes and stuff like that, sure. But I think when it comes to where are going to be the big winners, there's going to be a few crypto protocols that probably do really well, things like Render, BitTensor, stuff like that, okay? But in terms of where I think the better bets are going to be made, it's going to be in stocks. Think about like getting into the Anthropic IPO when that comes, the Figure AI IPO when that comes, the Aptronic IPO when that comes. These things are going to go fucking nuts, man. They're going to be huge investments. And I think when those come, I'm going to size up big into these kind of things because it'll be absolutely massive. And the way the stock market has been going and the way the AI bubble is probably going to form up over the next 4 to 5 years, huge opportunities exist there. But in crypto too, there'll definitely be some cool stuff happening in crypto, and we cover that here on the channel. But I think I'd rather own actual companies versus highly speculative tokens with more of my money. I'm not saying I don't gamble on tokens because I do, but I think there's better opportunities for the actual stocks. Okay, gosh darn it, guys. Lark XRP range. Reza, I don't even know what you're talking about. You're hilarious, man. That's great. These are hilarious comments. You guys are awesome. We'll see you back on Monday. Got some great videos coming to the weekend. I hope they don't get like obsoleted by any kind of bullshit happening, but I think they're going to be highly informative and interesting videos. Got some deep dives on some great topics, so make sure you check those out, guys. And of course, let's hope that peace prevails in the Middle East, okay? Not just, we don't make jokes and not just for our bags and stuff, but just for people stop killing each other. Can we just have peace and let the bombs stop dropping, let the dying stop dropping? Anyway, just a dude who talks about crypto. My opinion doesn't fucking matter to the people in charge, but let's pray for it to happen. And you guys have a safe weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday for the next live stream. Peace.